Hello everyone, welcome to valuetrainings.com. In this example, I'll take up the topic of downloading and installing or configuring Selenium. Now Selenium is not installed. People generally go wrong over here. It is configured. Okay, so in order to configure Selenium, you will have to go to the official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org website. Out here, I go to the download section, and over here you can see the latest Selenium version, that is Selenium 3.3.0. You can simply download it by clicking on this download link and it will get downloaded on your system. Okay, now one thing that I will not work with this Selenium latest version because this Selenium 3.3 version is having many bugs inside it. So rather I would switch back to the previous version. For that I go to the previous releases link, and over here you can see all the Selenium versions that have come up till now. Alright, so I'll download the Selenium 3.0 version. And over here I download Selenium.NET 3.0, the zip folder for it, and I save it. Okay, so once you download it, you get the zip folder. I'll extract it first, and over here this is your Selenium.NET folder. So I go to the net40 folder, and these are the 4 DLLs that you will have to include in your Visual Studio project in order to work with the Selenium code. Okay, so what I will do is, I'll open up my Visual Studio and let's create a new project. I'll add a new project, that is configuring Selenium. Okay, and under this project you will have to add all the DLL files that we have downloaded just now. So I right click on the references folder, add reference, and I'll browse to my location where I have downloaded my Selenium.NET 3.0 DLL files. So I have it over here, and these are the 4 DLLs that I'll add it in my project. Okay, so all the DLL files have been successfully added in your project, and then now you can start building up the simple .NET programs. For example, say you have the program.cs class file which contains the main method inside it. Okay, and then now we can create the object of the various driver classes that we have. For example, a class known as the Firefox driver class, which will help you to make scripts work on the Firefox browser. Okay, so we can simply create the object of this Firefox driver class, and then first of all we'll have to include the class for this Firefox driver from where this class is coming. That is, if you press Ctrl plus dot, I press Ctrl plus dot, and then it says that you'll have to include the namespace for it, that is using openqa.selenium.firefox. That is, Firefox driver class comes under this namespace openqa.selenium.firefox. Alright, so I create the object of my Firefox driver class is equal to new Firefox driver. Fine. So this is how you create the object of the Firefox driver class. And then now the major point. With the Selenium 3.x version, you cannot directly run your Firefox browser by simply creating the object of the Firefox driver class. That is, it will give you an exception. For that, what you have to do is you'll have to include one exe file, that is geckodriver.exe file. You need to download an exe file to make the Firefox browser work. Alright, so for that what you have to do is, I go to my official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org website. I go to the download section, and under the third party drivers, bindings and plugins, you will find one driver, that is Mozilla Gecko driver. Okay, and then from here you can download the geckodriver.exe file according to your system configuration. Fine, so I'll download the Windows 64-bit geckodriver exe file. Okay, so it has been downloaded, and here is your geckodriver.exe file, the zip folder of it. And then I'll simply extract it first. Okay, so once you download it, you get the zip folder, and then we extract it. This is your geckodriver.exe file that you need to include in your WebDriver code. And the code says that instead of simply creating the object of the Firefox driver class, we will have to write 3 lines of code in order to open the Firefox browser in the Selenium 3.x version. Alright, so what the code says, it says that first of all I'll have to create the object of my Firefox driver service class is equal to Firefox driver service dot create default service, and inside it you need to give the path of your geckodriver.exe file, that is this path. Alright, I'll simply give this path. Okay. And I'll put @ symbol. So instead of putting double slash in your path, you can even put the @ symbol. It will automatically take up the double slashes in the path. Fine. And then the next parameter is the name of your exe file, that is geckodriver.exe file. Okay, and then after that you'll also have to set the binary path of the Firefox browser as well, that is where have you installed your Firefox browser. So that is installed in my C drive, program files 86. Out here I have Mozilla Firefox, and inside this folder I have my firefox.exe file. So I'll simply take up this path and we'll keep it over here, and I put @ symbol, and this is your binary path for the Firefox browser. Fine. And then inside the constructor of this Firefox driver, I will pass my service object in which you are storing the geckodriver.exe file. Alright, so this 3 lines of code you'll have to include in order to open the Firefox browser in the latest Selenium 3.x version. Alright, and then one more thing. Another thing that you have to do is you'll have to set the path of this geckodriver.exe file in the environment variable as well. That is, I go to the properties of my system, advanced system settings, environment variables, and I edit the path system variable, and in the end you just give the path of your geckodriver.exe file. You put a semicolon and give the path of your geckodriver.exe file in the environment variable. Alright, fine. And then okay, hold on. I'll take the geckodriver.exe files path from my another drive, that is I've kept it over here. This is my geckodriver.exe file, and I take this path over here because that is a very long path. Fine, and I'll give this path in my environment variable also, and I keep it over here. Fine, and I click OK and OK. Oh, alright. So now I'll just build my solution, and then we'll execute it. So when you run this code, you will see a blank Firefox opening up before you. Similarly, you can also work with the IE browser, with the Chrome browser as well.